and welcome to this episode of The Brief by Spectrum Labs. I'm your host, Meredith Reed. This mini-sode is brought to you for the month of February in honor of Safer Internet Day. So The Brief has dedicated the month of February to discussions and activism surrounding the state of internet safety. And in addition to bringing you safer internet content like this podcast, we want to share another initiative that Spectrum Labs has started this month, our Safer Internet Day Pledge. We're inviting companies with online communities like maybe yours to commit at least 1% more revenue to trust and safety spending, whether that's hiring more trust and safety team members, increasing mental health benefits for your moderators, or buying trust and safety technology. We'd like to encourage you to commit to our pledge. You can find our pledge at getspectrum.io. And if you join us, we will add your company's logo to our pledge page. While you're there, we'd love it if you'd sign up to participate in our inaugural Trust and Safety Report. And thank you for supporting Spectrum Labs' mission to return the internet to a place of healthy connection and our effort to make hate speech, harassment, predators, and trolls part of internet history. On this mini-sode, we're featuring Brenda Guardado, Head of Customer Experience at Coffee Meets Bagel, which is the matchmaker of dating apps. Coffee Meets Bagel is a dating app that sends you select matches once a day at noon, which means less swiping and more great dates. Brenda Guardado leads all customer experience initiatives at Coffee Meets Bagel, which includes fraud operations, content abuse, and policy creation. So welcome, Brenda.
Thank you so much for that warm introduction. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. So just to get started, I want to ask you, as a company, how does Coffee Meets Bagel approach trust and safety?
Yeah, so safety and trust at Coffee Meets Bagel is actually really big for us as a company. It's a pillar that we stand on, and when we are creating new initiatives, we go back to this and see if it's contributing to that goal that we want for our user, which is creating a safe community. We know that 86% of CMB community members are looking for long-term relationships. We understand that investing your time and heart on dating apps can be a daunting process. With this in mind, we want to be committed to earning your trust, as well as creating a space that protects our community members of thoughtful daters to ensure that everyone who is communicating with you is there for authentic reasons. We have really strict CMB guidelines and terms and conditions where we design where we hope that we're designing each interaction to be a safe and enjoyable experience on Coffee Meets Bagel. And failure to adhere to these guidelines that we put forth for our users could result in you losing access to our platform. So trust and safety is really, really big for us, because we want to ensure that when you are putting yourself out there in terms of trying to find a relationship, that you can trust that those on the platform are also there with good intentions as well.
Great. That's so important. I actually online dated back in the day. That's how I met my fiance. So I can relate to some of the types of things that go on online dating sites. Well, I say websites because that was back before they had apps, actually. So speaking of that, fill me in on the present. What are some of the present biggest trust and safety concerns that you see when it comes to online dating?
Yeah, so because I think so many of our users are looking for relationships, long-term relationships, they're more vulnerable to romance scams. And romance scam hasn't changed over time. The anatomy has been pretty consistent in where it's appealing to people's emotions. In regards to romance scam, the first thing a fraudulent user would do would be create this online dating profile and take on the identity of someone who is real, that you can trust, maybe a military person. And then they claim attributes that inspire other users, such as they're widowed, their wife passed away and they're a single father, they are caring for a sick parent, or they claim to be religious. And then what they do next is they try to spam as many users as possible, meaning they try to like everyone and create conversations instantly before they get flagged or blocked from our platforms. And the next phase is, as soon as they do have a conversation going, is they'll try to take it offline, because once again, they want to continue it before they're blocked and can no longer chat within Coffee Meets Bagel. So they'll typically ask for their phone number or move to another platform such as WhatsApp or Google Hangouts. And then they continue to make this person fall in love. They make bold declarations of love themselves, and they always have a reason for not being able to meet in person. Usually these users have to go on some sort of trip, and they will assure the person that they're talking with that they'll meet in person once they're back from their trip. And then the ultimate part of the scam, sometimes this can take a few months to build up, but is when they will make an ask, some financial ask. It can come in the form of they were robbed and they have no money left, or they are in a medical emergency, or the sick parent that they're caring for is in an emergency themselves. And this really begins to pull at the heartstrings of the person that they are talking with, and they start kind of pulling at those emotions again. And this is what we see in regards to the top fraudulent activity within CMB, is just these romance scams.
Right. And I think we hear a lot about those. Even if they aren't incredibly common, they are incredibly scary, just not knowing who exactly is on the other end, and also worrying about what might happen to our loved ones if anyone we know and care about comes in contact with somebody like that. So how do you empower your users at Coffee Meets Bagel when it comes to trust and safety?
Yeah, we think educating our users is one of the best things we can do, so they can take this knowledge and take it wherever they are in terms of whichever dating platform they use, and utilize that there. So within the first few days of the user setting up a profile within the Coffee Meets Bagel app, we'll proactively send out an article based off of what we think are online dating safety tips and kind of some different ways to spot a fraudulent user. We'll provide quick tips such as never send money, never send gift cards, or never send any account information to their matches, especially if they haven't met them in person. We will tell them if they are going to meet someone in person for the first time, to let friends or family know where they're going, what they're doing, and try to provide their own transportation and meet in a public space, so you just feel more comfortable and safe too, especially if this is the first time that you're interacting face to face. And we let them know to keep their workplace and address a secret until they've met in person, until they've built more trust in time and they've had multiple interactions too. And then within the app, we also empower our users by allowing them to cut any chats at any points where they don't feel comfortable. We never would force a user to continue a conversation that isn't contributing to what they are hoping to take out of it, which could be a meaningful relationship. We allow users on various parts of the platform and through all stages of chat to block someone, to report anyone for inappropriate messages or inappropriate content that might have been sent that they didn't ask for, and also any fraudulent users. So we want to put that power in our hands of our users to make them feel comfortable, in the sense that we are trying to design our app so they do have the power to end any conversation that isn't contributing to what they want.
That's great. And that's so important that the user feels empowered and realizes that, you're not being mean, you're not being rude, you're just looking out for yourself. Because there are people out there who might not have the best of intentions. So, what type of universal advice do you have for people dating online, different apps and brands when it comes to trust and safety? What types of things should we put to the forefront in this industry? think you might have frozen.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, I can. Okay,
Okay,
continue.
perfect. So sorry, companies that are creating these products are advice for the users that are interacting with other people and these platforms.
Sorry, could you just repeat what you said since you cut out a little bit there? So I'll just repeat the question and we'll edit this.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. What advice do you have for other dating apps and brands when it comes to trust and safety?
Yeah, so when it comes to trust and safety, I would highly, highly advise you to never stop working on this. It's the most important thing when it comes to meeting new people, is having a foundation of trust. And that comes from knowing that the platform that you are on is investing in tools upfront to prevent any fraudulent users to get into the platform and prevent them from you interacting with them. So when that interaction does happen with the user, you want it to be something that's authentic, that's real, because you have a sense of security that the platform that you're on has done everything within its power to prevent any sort of bad behavior from coming into the platform.
Great. Thank you so much. And I know that was a quick little interview, but that's our mini-sode. So thank you so much for being here, Brenda. And thank you to all of our listeners. And we'll see you next time on The Brief.